Welcome to Bhagavad Gita for daily life. Let's do this week's teaching of the week. My name is Sunny Sharma. If you're new here, on this channel, we study and practice the teachings of the Gita with great devotion. We've started this new initiative where we're doing a teaching of the week. So every Monday, you can look forward to a brand new teaching of the week, a simple snippet from the Bhagavad Gita that we will talk about. We'll do an explanation of the teaching. We will do 3 tips on how to practice the teaching. And then we're all going to strive together to practice it during the week. Today's teaching is all about learning to see that the experiences which come and go have no reality. They appear real, but they are not real. They are relatively real, but not essentially real. And Krishna gives us very powerful instructions on how to not only know this mentally, but also to realize it deeply. So I'll read out the teaching for you. We'll do a little bit of an explanation, and then we'll go over the tips on how you can start practicing this during this week. Okay. So let me bring the teaching up. And just to give you a little context of why Krishna is telling Arjuna about this, is because Arjuna, at this point in the Gita, in chapter 2, he is full of despair. He is miserable. He has so many internal conflicts at the moment. He doesn't know what to do, whether to engage in the battle before him or not. What's the right way of going about it? So Krishna sees him suffering, and Krishna gives him not personal advice. He gives him the deepest spiritual advice, because Arjuna's conflict, his suffering, is rooted in ignorance of his true nature. So Krishna's advice is not mere surface level personal advice, what Arjuna should do. Krishna's advice is very direct and very spiritual in nature, because only when Arjuna starts to awaken to his true nature, to the true nature of all things, can his suffering start to vanish. So Krishna tells Arjuna, and this is chapter 2, verse 14. Arjuna, when the senses contact sense objects, a person experiences cold or heat, pleasure or pain. These experiences are fleeting. They come and go. Bear them patiently, Arjuna. Those who are unaffected by these changes, who are the same in pleasure and pain, are truly wise and fit for immortality. Assert your strength and realize this. The impermanent has no reality. Reality lies in the eternal. Those who have seen the boundary between these two have attained the end of all knowledge. Realize that which pervades the universe and is indestructible. No power can affect this unchanging, imperishable reality. The body is mortal, but that which dwells in the body is immortal and immeasurable. Therefore, Arjuna, fight in this battle. So, 2 main things that we're going to be covering in this teaching of the week. One aspect is Krishna is telling us, he's telling Arjuna, and when he's speaking to Arjuna, he's speaking to us. We are Arjuna, the miserable spiritual seeker. So he's telling us, everything you experience, Arjuna, is fleeting. And the impermanent, everything which flees, which comes and goes, has no reality. Krishna says, reality lies in the eternal. So he says that everything in our experience, including the experience of the body and mind, is an impermanent experience. The second thing he says to Arjuna, he said, realize that which pervades the universe and is indestructible. No power can affect this unchanging, imperishable reality. The body is mortal, but that which dwells in the body is immortal and immeasurable. So he is telling Arjuna, yes, everything you experience is essentially unreal, Maya, illusion, but realize yourself as the indestructible, immortal, eternal reality, Arjuna. That is your true nature. So that is what we are going to focus on. Why is this teaching significant? It is significant because all of our suffering, our internal conflicts, are rooted in believing ourselves to be this body and mind alone, and believing the world to be absolutely real and solid. Only because we have the belief that everything we experience is so real and is what may be called reality. We have no understanding of reality beyond what we see, hear, taste, touch, feel, think, sense. So we give a sense of absolute reality and identity and truthfulness to this world. And we are deeply involved, entangled, and suffering because of it, which is why Krishna tells us to observe impermanence in everything we consider to be absolutely real, so that we realize its fleeting nature. And not only in things we see outside of this body, but the very body itself, the very mind itself, the person we believe ourselves to be, we are to observe impermanence in also that, so that we can grow in the understanding of the true nature of things, so that we can stop giving reality to that which is essentially unreal. Only when we start to realize the true nature of the world, only when we start to realize our own true nature, can we then live a life that is anchored in truth. Only then can we live without suffering. It changes the entire demeanor with which we live. Seriousness and suffering is replaced with lightheartedness and flow, acceptance, allowance. So it's a very big teaching. This may not seem like something big that Krishna is asking us to do, but it's actually a very, very direct instruction to help us grow in our in the understanding of our true nature. So let's talk now about 3 ways that you can practice this week. The first thing I will ask that you do this week is observe how all the experiences and situations that you're having, that you're going through, it's all coming and going. Once again, this may not seem so significant, but just start with this. Observe how every experience you are having comes and goes. Even this experience of you watching this video, just recently, it did not exist. Now it has come into what you call your present moment. And right now, because it is in the present moment, it appears to be real. But soon this experience will pass and cease to exist forever. It will only be a memory in the next experience, which soon also will become unreal. So these experiences are fleeting dreams, dreams like that appear to be real for a moment when they are here and now, when they are illuminated by the presence of myself. But then the moment they pass, it's almost like they never existed. They are nowhere to be found. This experience is always being replaced with another experience, this dream with another dream. So start to observe the impermanent nature, the fleeting nature of every experience you are having day by day. If you can do it during the day, it's wonderful. But even do it at night, right before you go to bed. Just take account of all the experiences that came and went that very day. The second thing you can do, we aren't just observing impermanence in outside things outside of the body. Observe impermanence in your very own body, in your very own mind. Observe how the body is changing experience by experience. This may be very hard to do in the beginning, but just take a look. The body is not changing once every 5 years, once every 10 years, once every year, or once every month. It's literally changing moment by moment. What Krishna is saying here, that the impermanent has no reality, that everything the nature of everything is fleeting. He's not just talking about the realm of sense perceptions, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. He is also talking about the very experience of the body. He's also talking about thought and emotion. all emotional states, all mental states. They come and go. We believe we are this person. Now, Krishna is asking us to observe even the person as a fleeting experience. This theme will arise again and again in the Gita. So start to observe how even the person is a changeful experience. It is not your true nature. So just start to see that the body that is here in this experience is not the body that is here in a different experience. The experience of tomorrow that will come has a different experience of the body. On a moment by moment basis, it's very hard to see this change because there's an appearance of continuity through memory, and that's fine. You don't need to feel a change in the body every experience, but just start to reflect how the body is changing. It's changing very minutely, but it is changing. So start to observe the changefulness of the body, and also start to observe the changefulness of the mind. See how quickly thoughts come and go. They don't exist. They come into existence for a moment and then they pass, ceasing to exist forever. Same with emotions. They come and go. They arise and pass. You are the observer of them, right? You are observing change in all experience, and you are that imperishable, immortal reality which dwells here. You are observing impermanence as that. I know this is subtle and this may seem very difficult to put into practice, but let's just do our best. It is subtle, but hey, this teaching is coming into your experience. So welcome it and do your best to practice it. If you need help during the week and you want to practice this teaching with our community, join our Bhagavad Gita study group. I will link it down in the description box below. We do weekly meetings, we do weekly conversation. We have wonderful resources in our group. So if you want to take your Gita practice deeper, please make sure to join us and support this channel. The last thing that I will invite you to practice, the third tip to practice this teaching, is when thoughts and emotions are present, they try to like sell you something. For example, a thought that arises, oh my God, I don't like this, or oh, I'm so miserable. Why is this? It's like bothersome, maybe it's like suffering. Practice not believing in it so much. Because it is an impermanent experience, don't give it selfhood. Don't give it so much truthfulness, a sense of reality. Let it be something which also just comes and goes. Same with emotions. Sometimes anger arises and we just subscribe to it. We buy into it. We believe we are it and we take it to be real. And we create so much dysfunction and suffering. Now, if anger arises, it's like we can let it be, but we don't need to subscribe. We don't need to buy what it's selling. We don't need to become angry. We can let anger be, but we don't need to become angry. You see, there's a difference. Now you are learning to observe anger without buying into it, without taking it to be true, without taking it to be you. And then soon it passes. Same with all emotions. Try that. See thoughts and emotions as fleeting experiences to the best of your ability, and don't buy what they are trying to sell you. Because you've seen sometimes you've really bought into, let's say, fear or anger, and then you're so caught in its grasp. But then it passes, and then you're like, oh my God, how could I have thought that? How could I have done that? What you did under the spell of anger or fear. It's like now you're like, how could I have done that? So you see these emotions and these thoughts that arise from our karma, our conditioning, they put us under a spell and they make us believe what is not really true. They limit our perspective, our point of view, our entire understanding, and they bind us to the things of this world. So now let's observe the fleeting nature of all thoughts and emotions, which means they are impermanent, which means they are not real. They are relatively real, but not absolutely real. And let's stop buying into what they are trying to propose, what they are trying to project, what they are trying to sell us as real. And doing this, the whole illusion begins to crumble. If we put these things into practice this week, It's not that, oh, just in a week, everything you'll be realized and everything, but these are the core practices that really start to reveal your true nature. They help us to gain greater and greater awareness of ourselves. Okay, so just to summarize, practice how every experience that you are having, including this one of watching this video, comes and goes. Include your body and mind in that. So the second one is observe also your body and mind as transient, impermanent experiences, always in a flux of change. You are their observer. You are the eternal reality observing impermanence. And third, stop buying into what every thought and emotion has to sell you, has to offer you. Okay? Put this into practice and you will be in alignment with this teaching. That's all for today. I will see you next time.